Hey guys, is there a card that you think is just a little overpowered? Maybe it does just a little too much too quickly. It can be played in almost any deck. Well, then we're gonna look at those cards. A lot of people think are very, very salty. And it's a very special card, and they only printed one of them, but also they printed a lot of them. So let's take a look here at that card. The card is the One Ring, so for four mana. It's indestructible, enters the battlefield, you gain protection from everything, and then you can tap it and put a birding counter on it. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose life for each birding counter on it. You draw a card with one for each birding counter on it as well. A lot of people say that this card is a very, very salty card. It's a bad card. It's not a good card. It's broken. All these things. I mean, Wizards thought it was a little too broken too for Arena, so that's why they changed it a little bit. Is this card broken? I don't think so. Especially in Commander, because you can only have one of them. Now, granted, in like a format like Modern, when you can have four of them, that there is some discussion there that maybe they should have made the clause that there can only be one in a deck, period. But, you know, I don't think this card is broken. Do I think this card is salty? Not at all. No. Run more interaction. So I'm always going to tell you, is the card salty? Nah. Run more interaction. Now, this is a little bit hard to get rid of because it's indestructible, but there's things like Chaos Warp. There are exile effects. You can exile certain artifacts, things like that. And at the same time, they're going to draw cards, but at the same time, they're also losing a lot of life as they do it. So unless where it gets scary, so they got like a shielded out or ways to gain life for each card they draw, things like that. So is this card salty? No. But run more interaction, you could take care of it, run it in your deck as well, and have a lot of fun playing this card. It's not busted, it's not broken, it's not salty. Especially in Commander, it's a good card. You should run it, and if you have it, you should run it in almost every deck because it's for colorless. It's going to give you card draw. It gives you that protection for a turn. So especially if you're playing against decks that are swinging at you, it's great. But I don't find this card to be overly salty. I think it can be abused. It can be bounced, things like that. But at the same time, they still got to cast it. They don't gain the protection. They could bounce it and put it back on the battlefield and reset the counters kind of thing. So yeah, it can get crazy, especially when they get to like 3 or 4 counters and they're drawing like 4 or 5 cards in a turn. That does advance it, but that's why I always tell you run more interaction. So if you have a counter spell, this should be counter. You do not want this to hit. If you have exile effects or bounce effects, things like that, slows them down and all of these things. But yeah, let me know what cards you find maybe busted, broken, salty. Put it in the comments below. We'll maybe put it in the next video. And I thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, we'll see you next time.